actually don't even feel like this is truly throwback wide receiver behavior, because when I think about throwback wide receiver behavior, I think about people acting bad, like just being mad that they're not getting the ball and doing a poor job of articulating perhaps that it's larger than them, but it always just seemed like it was just about them. But A.J. Brown for the last year and a half has been a little bit miffed that he's not getting the ball. And by the way, so is Devontae Smith, because their problem doesn't simply appear to be that they're miffed about not getting the ball. The problem seems to be this offense stinks and everybody knows it. Can't you tell? Right? So, yeah, you could run for 2,000 yards of Saquon Barkley last year and make everything work. But as is often the case when a running back takes a bunch of carries in a year and, by the way, or just gets to the age of Saquon Barkley, you can't do this again. So, in a very not throwback sort of way, A.J. Brown was on the stream playing video games with somebody, and somebody asked him some questions about what was going on and what he was saying with the offense, and he was saying, no, it's not going good. This isn't good enough. All those kinds of things. And, from what I understand about you people who play video games to that level, it's easy to forget that you're actually being recorded and people can hear you. You know what I mean? And you get yourself just a little bit too comfortable and you say a little bit too much. And I've been in situations where you're doing something that's being recorded, but you do it with your friend. And so you get a little bit too comfortable and perhaps you say something, not that you didn't mean, but something that you probably either didn't intend to say or it was received in a way differently than you expected just because you were so comfortable and you were talking to a friend. And so you think since you're talking to a friend, the fact that the rest of the world can hear you goes away. And so your friend understands your tone. Your friend understands what you mean. Your friend extends you certain measures of grace if things might be just a little bit gruff, right? But the rest of the world is listening. And now the rest of the world has questions. And you typically have two options under those circumstances. Option one is just not to say nothing about it, which is typically my choice. Option two is to kind of be like, maybe I got a little bit too comfortable. That wasn't exactly what I meant. Those are normally the two options. A.J. Brown went with the rarely used option three. And option three for him, 10 toes down. Ryan, can you play what A.J. Brown had to say?
When you're with the situation with the fact that you said you took it. It's not just solely about my situation. I mean, guys, obviously I want to win too, and I think if we're really focusing on winning and doing our job, we can't just keep slapping the Band-Aid over the defense doing their job and getting us out of trouble. At what point are we going to pick up our slack as an offense that we're so great, And that's what I'm getting at. It's not about we're not winning or I don't care about winning. All I care about is snap and step. No, it's been week after week sometimes. We're not contributing. We're not doing our job on offense. So you can't just keep slapping the Band-Aid over it and you expect to win late in the year and you think you're going to go to it at the end of the year. It's not going to fucking happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And last year, what it was, thank you for the ring, but it's a new season. They adapted. We have to adapt and we have to continue to get better and try to find new ways. So that's where the frustration comes in because it's not about winning, you guys. I want to win, yes. And help contribute as well. Do our thing on offense as well. I think that's fair.
Ryan, what was that in his locker?
It was a receipt that said, Jesus paid it all.
Oh. Got to worry about a guy like that. This dude in Dallas once sued Deion Sanders because Deion took his car in to get fixed. And when Buddy asked for the money, Deion told him that Jesus told him that he didn't have to pay.
Yeah.
This is the truth. I'm not making this up for you people who think I'd be hating on Deion. That actually happened. So he said, Jesus paid the receipt. Nah, okay. You still have to pay things too. Just in case that comes up. But you know what I find interesting about this with A.J. Brown is that it sounds like he's pushing back on all this millennial Zoomer positivity, right?
Right.
Somebody keeps saying everything is okay. I used to work this one job where every day we would come off and somebody would tell us what a great day we had. And I was like, there's no way we had a great day every day.
Right.
It's not possible. You're lying. This is useless. This is actually becoming
not every single show is a great show.
Yeah. Like this is becoming counterproductive if this is the feeling that you have about this. Is Sirianni one of those guys? Like, is that what it is? But the tone that he's taking implies, guys, stop lying to me. I know what time it is. This ain't it.
Yeah, right. Last game, he had 2 catches for 13 yards in the first half and had less in the second half.
Yes.
And less targets.
Yes. And I mean, look, man, I was watching some TV and they made a very good point that Nick Sirianni didn't get enough trouble for what a disaster it looked like that team was going to be early in 2024 and for righting the ship and getting everything okay. Right?
Right. They were 2-2. He's screaming at fans in Cleveland.
Correct.
And shows up with a shaved head.
Correct. It didn't. But did he fix stuff or did they just start winning?
Right.
You know? And so the point is where A.J. Brown's talking about we can't just keep throwing the Band-Aid over it. In a way, winning is the Band-Aid, right? It's just like, hey, it doesn't matter as long as we're winning. That's a tricky situation. But now they're going to play this game on Sunday night against America's team, the Detroit Lions. And I do believe that they have to go to Detroit to play this game. And look, this is 2 teams. Oh, so no, they're going to get this game at home. Okay. So, Ryan, what I was about to say, I have to take off the table, but now it makes for what I think is perhaps a more interesting set of points.
What you got?
Okay. So my thought was, hey, you got to go play on the road. It's going to be loud in there. That could be extra tricky. Counterpoint on this is you get the game at home.
Where it might be louder and trickier.
Here we go. Like, if this offense does not get going, hey, man, Eagles fans know he's right. Right? Like, that's a fan base that's not falling for the just because we're winning. Certainly happier for winning, but they're not falling for that. If that offense comes out there looking sluggish, it's going to be a thing.
Right.
Like, I actually need to take a greater survey of Eagles fans to see, do they love A.J. Brown for this or hate A.J. Brown for this? Because if I was an Eagles fan, he would become my favorite player. He's my favorite player right now, and I root for the Lions.
Right. I appreciate anyone who is that consistently honest. Well, say what you want about A.J. Brown. Man stays on message.
Yes.
He wants the ball, and he wants the offense to be better. And he's clearly right.
And he hasn't said anything rude.
Right.
Like he hasn't taken off.
It's not personal. He's not like, remember when Micah Parsons said on his pod, he listed the top 5 quarterbacks. And
he didn't list Prescott.
Yeah. Like, he's never saying anyone's not doing a good job. He's saying we're not doing a good job.
Yes.
He is saying we're not doing a good enough job getting me the ball.
Yes.
But he's not saying certain people aren't doing it.
Well, the other part is they are not doing a good enough job of getting him the ball.
Yeah. I don't think that's in dispute.
Everybody agrees with everything that he's saying, and I'm just trying to figure out what the head coach is doing, if that's how he feels. Of course, the way this season is gone, that means that the Eagles are going to win this game, but not cover the spread, and the spread is 2.5, and their record is just going to keep getting better. Is it going to be like it was with the Chiefs last year, where we wound up in this very similar situation?
Right. I mean, like, but the Chiefs last year, they didn't seem as frustrated as, like, there was no one sounding the alarm. And maybe that's just Philadelphia, right? That's just kind of the culture.
Well,
of the place.
I think it's 2 years in a row of this shit.
That's true. Yeah.
Like, as it relates to him, I think, or maybe the Chiefs have greater track record there, or maybe A.J. Brown just go harder, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he is just more of a perfectionist.
Yes.
Maybe he insists a little bit more. But the other thing with the Eagles is this. They're not playing for the division, man. They're going to win that. They're surrounded by bums in that division. They are, however, low-key, and I don't think we're talking about this part nearly enough. They are absolutely playing for the number 1 seed in that conference because everybody else is going to beat up on each other in the division by and large, except for Tampa Bay, but I just don't think they're that good. But there look to be perhaps 4 good teams in the North. There appear to be 3 good teams in the West, right? So they're all going to pound each other, and the Eagles get to play a season with 2 games against the Cowboys, Commanders, and Giants.
Make a wish.
They do. Oh, my God, the Commanders.
The Commanders.
Hey, man, the Commanders and the Cowboys play on Christmas, and the name of that game should be the Spirit of Giving. Like it is amazing how bad the Commanders defense is. So, my man Dan Campbell took over play calling for the Lions. And he said he wanted to show John Morton the way he wanted a game to be called, which I think is a fair thing to do here, right? I also think Dan Campbell every now and then needs to remind people that it's a brain up here.
So some people like to drive the car. They don't have to drive. Some people they don't have to drive every day, but some people, they like to show they still got it.
But he also has to get tired of people thinking that he's not a thinker. And this is his opportunity to do so. But anyway, a friend of the program, I don't know if that person has said this in public, so I want to be careful putting their name on it, but they're like, nah, I see through what Dan did. And that, actually, no, it was Mina, and she did send it on socials. She saw through what Dan Campbell did.
Oh, he picked up the Madden sticks, but he played it on rookie.
Yes, he did.
Got it.
That is exactly. But however, to be fair to Dan Campbell, if you want to show how you want it to be done,
correct.
This is the best way to go about showing how you want it to be done. Like, did he do it to show everybody how good he was? Maybe. But if it was intended to be instructional, that was the perfect time. Anyway, they're going to play against each other, the Cowboys and the Commanders, on Christmas. And it's just going to look. Russell Wilson looked like Russell Wilson against the Cowboys.
That might be Marcus Mariota versus Joe Milton.
And it'll look like Joe Montana versus Dan Marino. It's just going to be up and down, up and down. That's what it's going to be. But now this is a great week of football, man. Like, we got the Seahawks and the Rams, who might be, honest to God, the best two teams in the NFC. Some might argue the best two teams in the league. The Bears, who've got this thing rolling, but Caleb Williams against Brian Flores. Hey, that could get ugly fast.